Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by AIM Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine. Well, y'all know I love coming to AIM Acupuncture, and I have the treat of getting a quick second to talk to Dr. Tanya Weber. Thanks for chatting with me today.
Thanks for chatting with me. We appreciate you being here and hearing all these wonderful stories.
I get to hear so many great stories about what you actually get to do on a daily basis here at AIM.
Well, that's why I'm smiling all the time, right?
I know,
Because
sure
I have
is.
the best job in the world, y'all.
What initially drew you to acupuncture in the first place?
Funny you ask. Everybody asks that.
Yeah.
And I was my typical patient.
Really?
I was my typical patient. I had no idea what acupuncture was good for. I was in my mid-20s. I had intractable migraines. Like, out of 7 days a week, I probably had a migraine 6 days a week. Yes.
Oh, no.
I would
So
wake
bad.
at 4 a.m. in my bed vomiting from the pain. Couldn't even get to the bathroom. Maybe that's TMI, but it's life.
She keeps it real.
Yeah, it's life. I went to see every specialist out there. I thought I had a brain tumor. I thought I was dying. Like, why is a 20-year-old suffering like this?
Yeah.
Excuse me, mid-20s suffering like this? And then finally, my little family doctor in little Nowhereville, South Carolina, this little town called Peak, doesn't even have a stoplight. Dr. Carol Penner, third generation MD there. He took me into his office. I vividly remember he moved the hunting magazines out of the way for me to sit down. And when he takes you into his office, it's usually to tell you you've got 6 months left to live. It's never for good news. And he sat there and he looked at his thumbs and he's twiddling his thumbs and he's like, and he's mumbling. He's known for that. But you have to be from where I'm from to really laugh at that. I love him. And Tanya, I don't know, we've done da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what else to do for you. We've done, and he's listing all the things. He's like, I know you tried acupuncture before you came to see me. And I said, wait, Dr. Carol, what did you say about acupuncture? And he says, well, I know you tried acupuncture before you came to see me. Your parents have used it for years. What? And me, in all my brilliance, like I said, I'm my typical patient. I said, yeah, for back pain, but my head hurts.
There you go.
He flipped through his Rolodex. This tells you how long ago it was. He pulled out the card, Dr. Bill Skelton down in Columbia, 803-256-1000 if you're watching this from Columbia. And he sent me to see Dr. Bill.
And it was history?
And it was history. Like, he fixed me. And I had tried everything. I'd even been on FDA drug trials because I was such a meticulous note taker. Nothing had worked. Acupuncture worked. I couldn't get this out of my head. A couple of years later, I just quit my life and I went back to school again. Best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. And now I'm passing this on to you guys out there in need.
Love it. So for people that don't know, what are the types of ailments that you're able to treat here at AIM?
Well, we specialize in the chronic things. The things where people have just, she doesn't know this yet because look at her, she's like 12 and beautiful. But like, you're just getting older, you're gonna have to live with it. Here, take this pill and then these 25 others. Like, we specialize in, I guess you could say we specialize in hope. So when there's this chronic thing that other doctors have no answer for, give us a call because chances are we can help you. And if we can't help you, maybe we can direct you to a place that can.
And that's the best way to be.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
All right, so if somebody is watching this right now and they want to make an appointment and get started with y'all, how does that process
Y'all
work?
put our number right here on the screen, please.
Okay.
Y'all call this number. My wonderful team will get you, they'll explain everything. It all starts with a consultation because we can't help everybody. We'll sit down, we'll say, yes, this looks like something we can treat, and this looks like what the path to wellness looks like for you. And we'll lay it all out for you. And it's quite simple. It's really that simple.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by AIM Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Okay, well today I'm back in the garden with Frank Johnson here at WBTW. Thank you so much for teaching me all of your wisdom.
All right, I do what I can.
Thank you so much. Okay, look at my prop. We've got a watering can today.
Yes, it's more than a prop, there's water in there.
There is, there's actually water in here. So what are some things that people need to know when it comes to watering their garden?
Oh, okay, plants need water.
Yes, they do.
They need sunshine, they need soil, and they need water. It's one of the three things. They also need fertilizer and food. But water is very important, especially on days where we get a lot of sunshine and it hasn't rained in a while. And so it's a little more than just picking up the hose and watering the garden. That's important as well, but when you're preparing your garden, you have to think ahead as to how you're going to water it.
Yeah.
And develop a good, healthy soil type. Gardens need to have good drainage, so that when you water it, or if it rains a lot, that water doesn't just stay there.
Like, it's nasty.
You need it to move on. You need the plants to get their drink, and then the water to move on. And we do container gardening here at News 13. So we've got proper drainage. You can't water containers too much as long as there's drainage. If it's a container that has holes in the bottom, the extra water is just going to go right out. These containers, if I water it too much, the extra water just goes out.
Yeah.
But if you have a garden in the ground, when you're building the garden, you want to, is it in the proper spot? If it's in the low part of your yard, know that you're going to get water that accumulates there, and you may need to just use plants that drink up a lot of water. But for vegetable gardening, that low spot that accumulates a lot of water is probably not the best spot for a garden. You want an area that's going to drain out nicely, so that when you do water it, the water doesn't just stay. And really, your basic everyday watering, you soak the soil. It's more than just, getting the ground wet.
A little drink.
Yeah, you want it to soak into the ground a couple of inches.
A nice guzzle rather than a sip.
Exactly.
So you can't just go, there you go.
It needs more than that.
Yeah.
It needs more than that. And timing is also very important as well. A lot of plants are sensitive. If their leaves get wet and stay wet, they'll develop a lot of mildew or mold or diseases.
Yeah.
So the best time to water is first thing in the morning.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined in studio by Becky from the Champion Autism Network. Becky, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Tell me, how did you get involved with CAN in the first place?
I created CAN.
Okay.
So I have a son who's high functioning on the spectrum. We relocated here from the South Jersey area 11 years ago. And there's all these wonderful organizations that support the person with autism, therapies and speech and ABA, but there's nothing for the family. And so we started in 2013 with our sensory friendly movies. People came out to them and they were so excited to be somewhere where everybody got it and understood. They asked what else was there. So we took surveys and collected data, and we started a training program for restaurants, because that was the number one thing our parents wanted to do. So we started to educate restaurants, and then I was like, okay, if you're gonna, like I said, invite the autism world to come out and play, everybody needs to know how to treat them and what's going on. So the travel initiative started in 2016, and that's when we became a 501c3 and incorporated, and we've just been kind of off and running ever since.
You're really covering all the bases, though, from the educational standpoint to actually just providing them something to do. But from your standpoint, what has it felt like being able to actually educate somebody that had no idea what autism was? How does that feel to you as a mom, too?
It's really wonderful and refreshing, and it's not embraced by everybody or every business, and that's okay, right? We're just happy that most businesses and people in the community feel it's the right thing to do. And really, it's not rocket science. Generally speaking, you just have to kind of lead with love, and like in a restaurant or pretty much anywhere, if you have light switches and a volume control, you're halfway there in supporting people. Then it's just learning tips and tricks about, what to do, how to treat people these autism families in your restaurants or your stores or at your resorts, and what kind of support they might need, and then what to look out for in case there's a runner or an eloper, how to handle that situation.
A little patience goes a long way too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This segment is sponsored by Broadway Theater Myrtle Beach. Lights, camera, adrenaline. Woo! Today I'm hanging out, literally, with mind-blowingly talented celebrities.
Yes, bravo.
Delighted to bring Adrenaline, the new version of Le Grand Cirque, to the Broadway Theatre in Myrtle Beach. The show's actually now in its 15th year.
Congratulations.
I know, who would have thought it? First year was at the Sydney Opera House in Australia, where we still hold the record for the biggest selling show of all time, which is fantastic. So we're delighted to be here this year with Adrenaline. We've upped the ante this year. We've got acts from America's Got Talent. It's insane. The title of the show says it all, Adrenaline. Edge of the seat, white knuckle, thrilling. It's fantastic, spectacular show.
I was lucky enough to see several of these performers up close and personal. Starting with the extraordinary Noemi and Elan España.
8th generation España family. You guys were born into performing, but tell me a little bit about what you guys actually do.
So in the show I do a handstand contortion, so I bend my body in ways.
Very, very interesting ways.
Yeah.
And you do Diablo.
I do Diablos, and I also do Sear Wheel. So Diablos is like a string with 2 sticks at the end and like a huge yo-yo
Yeah.
on the middle. And then I also do Sear Wheel, which is like a big hula hoop that you spin around in. And
Pretty cool, right? All right, next up is a pair that loves danger. Alfredo and Corral, AKA Deadly Games.
So we're gonna demonstrate a little bit of our art. I'm a 6th generation circus performer, and I fell in love with the danger, and nothing more dangerous than knife throwing.
Ooh, that sound effect was lovely.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys have been doing this for quite some time.
Right.
You've actually gotten national recognition for doing this.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit more.
So I was lucky enough to be part of the TV show called America's Got Talent.
you've
I
heard
went
of it.
all the way to the semifinals the first time. I got the Golden Buzzer from Heidi Klum the second time, and I won the whole show on the extreme version of the show. So that put me on the path that I should pursue that, and I feel like I'm blessed to have this job, and I'm blessed to be here in Myrtle Beach right now.
Okay, they're both so incredibly talented. I'm gonna step out for a second so you can demonstrate what you guys
Right.
do.
Okay, so basically I'll follow her body line with my knives. I'm going to invite you to step into my office and be part of the act. What about that?
Can I just say, I wish that my outfit was as good as Corral's, but I mean,
It's
we'll
not
make,
bad
we'll
at all.
make do.
So let's do
Okay.
this. You're going to face this way and don't move.
Okay.
That's the most important part, okay?
Oh my
I'm going
God.
to start from the bottom, going up, higher, 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 higher.
Oh my God.
That was a bit stressful, but now let's end on a high note. Alfredo's brother, who honestly needs no introduction, is the incredible Alan Silva, who started training at just 4 years old.
I'm from Brazil, so I came to US in 2000 to perform with Cirque du Soleil. They casted me over there.
So cool.
Performed with Cirque du Soleil for 17 years, most of my life. And then after that, I was invited to perform for America's Got Talent, AGT. I was on the season 15, and I was a finalist in the show. And then after that, I went on to do AGT All Stars, which was only like top at the top, which was very, very difficult. Yeah, because it was, big competition
Stiff
over there.
competition there.
Really hard. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was a great experience to be there and just, traveling all over Europe, just doing a lot of things.
Well, we're very happy to have you here in Myrtle
Thank you.
Beach.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Yep, just another day on the job.
Where can people buy tickets, and how often are you doing this show?
Absolutely. So they can buy tickets online at www.broadwaytheatrenb.com or by calling the box office right here at the Broadway Theatre, 843-626-7645. The show at the moment is playing every night at 7 o'clock, and on Tuesdays we have a 4 o'clock show. We're constantly adding shows because we're constantly selling out, which is fantastic.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.